All right, let's dive into one of the most fascinating challenges in the entire legal world. How on earth do you prove what someone was actually thinking? I mean, it seems impossible, right? You can't just put a thought on the witness stand. A feeling can't testify. So, how does a legal system get inside someone's head to figure out what they really intended to do? Well, believe it or not, there's actually a legal toolkit designed for this exact problem. We're going to look at the framework from India's new evidence law, the Bhartiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. We'll just call it the BSA for short. And what it does is give courts a way to essentially make the invisible visible.
Okay, so let's jump right in. This first part is all about tackling that fundamental challenge of proving the unseen.
So the law basically zeroes in on two key areas. First, a person's state of mind, what was going on in their head. And second, their bodily feeling, what they were physically experiencing. Now, for our purposes today, we're really going to focus on that first one, the state of mind. But here's a really, really important rule we have to get straight from the start. A court really digs into someone's thoughts or feelings if it's what they call a fact and issue. Basically, it has to be one of the central questions of the entire case. If it's not absolutely crucial to answering the main question, it's thrown out, completely irrelevant. All right, so with that rule in mind, let's dig a little deeper. What does the law even mean when it talks about someone's state of mind? So, state of mind isn't just one thing. It's actually a whole collection of different mental states. We're talking about things like intention, knowledge, whether someone acted in good faith or if they were being negligent. It even includes things like ill will towards another person. Let's kick things off with the big one, intention. Super simple, this is just the purpose or the aim behind what someone did. It's the why. And this is where you really see the legal strategy at play. A court can't see into your brain, right? It can't see your intent. So what does it do? It looks at external facts to prove an internal thought. For example, say a man is accused of murder. If he was seen in the area carrying a gun, well, that action, just having the gun, becomes powerful evidence that his intention was to cause harm. Okay, next up we have knowledge. This is all about proving what someone actually knew, what they were aware of at a very specific time. Here's a great example. Imagine there's a stolen bracelet. If that bracelet is later found in someone else's possession, the law can infer they knew it was stolen. The court doesn't need a recording of someone telling them, hey, this is stolen. Just the act of possessing it is enough to imply they had that knowledge. Then we've got ill will. This is pretty straightforward. It's about showing there was a hostile or malicious feeling between two people before the incident. And the logic here is really direct. Let's say there's evidence that the accused had threatened to kill the victim in the past. Those past threats become super relevant. Why? Because they help paint a picture of a pre-existing state of mind. It shows that malice was there long before the actual crime happened. So once you start talking about someone's state of mind, it naturally leads to this huge question that courts have to deal with all the time. Was it an accident or was it on purpose? And I mean, think about it. In so many cases, the entire verdict comes down to this single question. Was it just a terrible one-off mistake? Or was this a deliberate act, something that was part of a bigger plan? This is where another tool in the legal toolkit comes into play. And that tool is all about looking for a pattern of behavior. Honestly, this is where it gets really, really interesting. Okay, check out this classic case. It lays it out perfectly. So, a guy buys a house, he takes out a massive insurance policy on it, then, wouldn't you know it, the house mysteriously burns to the ground, he collects all that insurance money. Now, if that happens once, you'd probably think, wow, what a tragic accident, poor guy. But what if the court finds out this has happened before? What if he's owned, say, 3 other houses, and every single one of them burned down right after he insured them? And that is the logic right there. One fire? That could be an accident, a coincidence. But a series of fires, all connected to the same person? Well, that starts to look a lot less like bad luck, and a lot more like a plan. The pattern is what reveals the intent. Okay, but this brings up a super important point. When does your past actually matter in court? Because the law is incredibly specific about this. And this slide really gets to the heart of a crucial legal distinction. So on one hand, you have a statement like, A is in the habit of shooting at people.
A court would say that's irrelevant. It's just a comment on his general character. It's way too broad. But what about this? A has shot at this specific person, B, before. Now that is highly relevant. See the difference? It's not about general character, it's about a specific history with the actual person involved in the case. So the key takeaway here is this. The law doesn't care if you're a bad person in general. What it cares about are your specific actions in the past that are directly related to the case at hand. Your general personality, not the issue. Your specific history with the victim, absolutely the issue. Okay, so let's pull all of this together. Let's look at the big picture logic of how a court figures out intent. Because at the end of the day, the law isn't trying to be a mind reader. It's not magic. Instead, it's more like a detective. It builds a logical picture of what was going on in someone's head by piecing together all the evidence, their specific actions, the context surrounding them, and, as we saw, any patterns that emerge over time.
And this kind of brings it all back to our own lives, doesn't it? This legal logic we've been talking about, it's not actually that different from how we all think every day. So here's a final thought for you. How often do you judge what someone really means, or what their true intentions are, based on a pattern of their past actions? Chances are you do it all the time. It seems the logic of the court is really just the logic of being human.